Hey everyone, looks like we are live. We'll be getting started in a little under 5 minutes. Can take this time while we're waiting to go ahead and enter our giveaway there. You can see the link on screen, bzpower.com/giveaway. Hope everyone's been having a happy new year so far. Well, as happy as can be. Just about a minute until we get started. Again, make sure to go ahead and enter in our giveaways for today. Don't want to miss out on some free sets. Hey there, Aaron. Welcome. Hey, Max. Alrighty, I've got 1 o'clock, so time to start taking a look at this, or I can just turn it off so you guys can't see anything. Start to take a look at this lovely set. Sorry about that black screen there for a second. Here we go. Today we're building, or starting to build, because I don't think we will finish today, 10237, the Tower of Orthanc from the Lord of the Rings line. A sadly short-lived line that I guess was slightly revived when the Hobbit movies were coming out, but not long enough, if you ask me. And those Hobbit movies and Hobbit sets, well, I think I've either reviewed or built on stream most of the Hobbit sets. So those of you who have checked those out know my opinions on them for the most part. They're not very good generally. But we'll focus on this today, the cool stuff. The Tower of Orthanc, I think this is from like 2013 or so. 2,359 parts. This is definitely the biggest set we've built in quite a while, I feel like. I'm trying to think when the last time we built something this big. Maybe one of like the UCS sets? But even like the TIE Fighter, I don't think it was this many pieces. So, like I said, this is probably going to be a multi-day build. Retailed for $200 back in the day. I haven't looked at what the secondary market prices are, but I'm sure they're ridiculous. Obviously, we have got the tower front and center here, and it's beautiful, as you can see on the side, 28.75 inch tall glory, or 73 centimeters for those of you in the more logical parts of the world. We've got Gandalf on the eagle. We've got an Ent. Only time we got an Ent in any of the Lord of the Rings sets. Another disappointing thing. And along the bottom here, may be hard to see, but we'll obviously take a closer look at the minifigs as we build them. We've got Saruman, of course, Grima Wormtongue. I think this is the only set he appeared in. Gandalf the Grey, and Oroki, and an Orc Pitworker. I think that's what it says. So, yeah, that is the front there. Oh, it includes a light brick too, don't forget that. On the back, we can see some of the mini features on there. Apparently has a play feature where Gandalf can call down the eagle. I'm looking forward to see how that one works. But kind of just recreating a lot of scenes from the films, it looks like. Some of the different features, trapdoors, the Palantir has a light brick on it, more trapdoors. The Ent apparently has some, looks like vaguely Toa kind of play features where there's a gear on his back that you can turn and activates one of his arms. And it's kind of interesting from the front, you know, it looks like it's a solid tower, but it's more of a dollhouse kind of playset thing where the back is open and you can access all the different rooms. I think that's probably preferred personally. I mean, you're going to be displaying this, or assuming you're displaying this, it's going to be with the back towards like, you know, the wall, so it doesn't really matter if the set has a back or not, and then it allows it to be open so you can show it off to people and things like that. So yeah, definitely a lot here, a lot to build, so might as well stop delaying and open the set up. Hey there, Oroki. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the A-Wing build. I've seen some, there's some rumors floating around about what big Star Wars sets we're going to be getting this year, including, well, obviously the, possibly the gunship that was voted on, but it looks like we may be getting like a large Death Star sculpture as well, similar to the Death Star 2 one from back in the day. That is just a rumor. I haven't seen anything official to corroborate that, and you know, LEGO's not going to officially corroborate anything like that until they're ready to announce it. Alright, lots of bags here. So we get to make a lot of crinkly noises as we sort through them. Obviously this set has been sitting around in my closet for a while, so everything has settled. Well, I mean, that's kind of, you know, LEGO Star Wars in a nutshell, is they keep doing X. I know there are some sites out there that, like, you know, put together a list of here are the sets that or the ships and stuff that LEGO hasn't done yet. I think for a lot of them, there's probably reasons why LEGO hasn't done it yet. Just because they don't think there's going to be that big of a market. But that doesn't mean that, you know, we as fans aren't disappointed by the lack of them doing them. Can you just get a $1,000 Superstar Destroyer? I mean, they made a Superstar Destroyer back in the day, so this would be another Superstar Destroyer, Oroki. Your argument is invalid. Nah, just kidding. All right, so we've got 15 numbers here, and oddly, of those 15, only 2 have 2 bags for that number. That would be 3 and 5. So for a total of 17 bags, plus the eagle. I should probably just the camera down now. Yeah, I don't have that giant box. And of course, we've got our instructions, nicely carded, bagged and boarded, you might say, if you're a comic book fan. But that is nice because even though the set has been sitting around for a while, it means the instructions are fairly nice and pristine, as are the stickers. Look at that, we've definitely opened some sets that have been around for a while, and the stickers have been like super folded. Also happy to see just kind of how few stickers there are. We got some of the different wizards here. So we've got Radagast the brown, Saruman the white, and Gandalf the gray. Not exactly sure who those 2 are supposed to be. Maybe the blue wizards? Or additional pictures of Gandalf or Radagast? Whoa, what's going on, microphone? Alright, not sure what that was. We've got some wargs on there. We've got obviously the White Hand of Saruman, some maps, and like a spell book maybe. All in all, I'd say this is a pretty inoffensive sticker sheet compared to like some sets where like the stickers are required to make the set look good. I would say the only ones that look like they're super required here are the White Hands. So it would have been maybe nice if those had been printed, but you know, not the biggest deal. And we've got actually 3 instruction manuals here. So they are not nicely bound like a lot of modern big D2C sets are. You know, this was from like 8 years ago, so that was not as common then. So instead we have 3 kind of normal sized instruction books, so they split it up. As I mentioned, hinted at online when I posted about this, I doubt we're going to be finishing the entire set today. I would love if we'd get through like half of it. That'd be fantastic. We'll have to see how it goes. Alright, so kind of breaking down the set build. Looks like bags 1 and 2 are the Ent. And then we start working on the tower itself. Interesting, we got the base, and then it looks like we're just kind of building some like side pieces and stuff. It's kind of interesting that it shows just the section you build in that bag and not like how it contributes to the whole. So we'll have to see how that goes. Alright, bag 1 ended up all the way back there, so let's open her up and get building. We'll put up our picture-in-picture cam once we get everything sorted. So I hope everyone has been having a good New Year so far. Alright, so we've got some string here in this bag. It looks like the orc we're building here has like a grappling hook or something. Got an orange brick separator. Really needed to make some space in the old brick separator cup here. before they start overflowing and falling out. It looks like we actually start with the eagle, who's separately bagged. Oh, there's perforations on the other side. There we go. Alright, let's get our webcam in position. If I break the Brick Fair mug, I could just get one of my other Brick Fair mugs and have 2 brick separator mugs. Alright, so our nice little 3-piece eagle here. I think looks very similar to the ones that came in some of the other Lord of the Rings sets. I think it was only the Black Gate one. I don't remember if the colors were the same, but the mold is definitely the same. So he's ready to fly in and save Gandalf. So our first minifig, possibly one of the most boring ones in the set, is this little orc. He's got plain dark brown legs, some decent printing. It's been a while since I've built any of the Lord of the Rings sets, so I have no idea if he is a unique printing on the face and body, or if he is similar to some of the other orcs that we got. But he definitely looks orcish, fits the aesthetic style of the film, and we get to build some weapons for him. He's got the axe and that grappling hook I mentioned. Definitely an odd choice. I'm not sure why he needs. Maybe it's supposed to be like a whip. I was about to say like, oh, but Lego doesn't want to do that, but like they've done plenty of whips before, so I'm not sure why they were hesitant to give the orc a whip. I wanted to give him a grappling hook instead. I'm not sure if there's going to be more mugs given out at Brick Fair whenever the next Brick Fair happens. I'm pretty sure there are extras, additional ones that Todd still has in the warehouse probably. But I also know that he was selling them at the Bling Desk, and like obviously at first that was mainly for the public coming, so you get like a souvenir. Some people kind of get tired of t-shirts and stuff after a while, so it was definitely something nice and different. Also a nice kind of one size fits all thing. You don't have to worry about keeping different sizes in inventory, which is a pain. And I assume that he'll still have them there, but I don't know if he'll be giving them out to attendees as part of the registration fee in the future, or if he'll come up with something else. I know he definitely had a cool idea at one point that he was looking to like do another kind of cool goodie bag item. I think that was supposed to happen last year, but he was ordering them from China, and obviously China got hit with the coronavirus first, so that like kind of delayed all the shipping, and then obviously the coronavirus came to the US and the rest of the world and just kind of shut down all the conventions, so that never happened. I don't know if he ever got them or not. I haven't asked or anything. It's not quite been the biggest worry or concern. I'm just more worried if we actually get to go to a Brick Fair this year. Because like this time last year, I was getting ready to go to Brick Fair, Alabama, which would have been in like a week and a half or so, and not so much this year. Alright, so here is our orc with his axe and his grappling hook. There's kind of an odd thing there. I don't think I've ever quite seen anything like that in a LEGO set. What was the event kit in 2018? You'd have to refresh my memory there. If it was like an actual like little model build, I don't think you can expect to see those again. I know it's unfortunate, but they were also a lot of work to keep going, like to sort all those parts and everything. And then either Todd would have to do it himself or get helpers, and there are definitely people willing to assist, but it's still just a super time-intensive thing to pack all those little baggies for the models. And it just kind of became a little too much. So that's how we started seeing things like the pens and the mugs and other things that were still like, you know, very brick fair, but not as directly LEGO. Yeah, I think the Zelda kit, so you said 2016, not 2018, I thought I misread it first. The Zelda one was definitely, had some quality control issues because it was a super elaborate model. Very awesome, well designed, but because there were just so many parts in it, like, yeah, there's a lot of people got ones that were missing parts, and I think that's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. It was like, this isn't worth it anymore. Like, you know, you're trying to one-up yourself and make things better for every subsequent iteration, and eventually it just kind of becomes too much to keep on top of. All right, we've got a ball joint going in. Always nice to see that. Looks like that might be for like the to attach the head. Or maybe the waist is attached via a ball joint. Or maybe this is a foot. This might be one of the feet. Definitely one of the things I'm liking with this Ent build so far is that it seems like it's going to be pretty much completely asymmetric. And I super appreciate that. I would say at this point, I don't think I really care too much about what sort of things I would get in the goodie bag at Brick Fair, just as long as I can go to Brick Fair again. Hopefully with the vaccines coming out, the light is at the end of the tunnel. Not gonna get my hopes up too high, but you know, I'm trying to stay positive. It's definitely hard sometimes though. So you've got lots of slopes and curves and stuff coming in here on this leg. And And starting to see why it's just 2 bags just to build the int, because this is 1 leg and it's already like over 2 minifigs tall there. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah, definitely a lot of things in the world that are bigger concerns than LEGO conventions, and but gotta focus sometimes on the things that make you happy too. So hopefully we can figure it all out. What did I do wrong here? Something. Ah, that was wrong. And this set came out like before the LEGO movie was a thing. That's how old this set is. Wow. It just kind of is a weird concept, right? Obviously, like the LEGO movie has become somewhat ubiquitous with, you know, LEGO culture and brand. It's just like, huh. There's a time before the LEGO movie. Man, remember movies? Going to movie theaters? Alright. Almost got 2 legs here. Just gonna build this other foot. Which is seeming very similar to the first foot. Looks like it might be mostly just a mirror of the first foot. And the legs were mostly identical as well, but some slight differences, very slight differences in the colors. It's kind of interesting. The bottoms of his feet are hollow. I don't know if that was just to save parts or if there's like a practical application of that. One slight difference between the 2 feet is that this one on the right foot, I guess, has a little mushroom on it with a printed 2x2 round dish. There we go. We've got a pair of ent legs. So we get rid of our extra parts here. And yeah, there we go. So they use the round kind of click hinges for the hips, so they can go forwards and backwards. They can go in and out. No knees, obviously, and then the feet have a ball joint, but they use this 1x2 plate with a track on it, and this 2x2, or I guess 2x3 plate with a rounded end, so that the ankles can't go too far forward and backwards, and then the socket keeps them from going too far side to side. Oh, and that's backwards, I just realized. So it does kind of limit the posability a little bit, but it also offers more stability. So you can kind of like go a little bit of an ent stride going on there. All right, bag 2. Some extreme athlete's foot, yeah. You should have that fungus checked out. So this is interesting. We'll obviously take a closer look, but the eyes of the ent are printed on 1x1 tiles. Would have expected them to be 1x1 round tiles, but they're square tiles instead. Did they even have round tiles in 2013? When were those introduced? Maybe they just didn't have them back then. Definitely some interesting building going on here. I mean, it's mainly just studs up kind of stuff, but some interesting shaping with all these different slopes. Normal slopes, inverted slopes, just a little bit of everything there. Another CCBS socket coming in. It's another interesting reference point for the set. This came out before Bionicle came back, before it was canceled the second time. remember at the time these sets were starting to come, I'm like, well, there's no more Bionicle, but at least I've got Lord of the Rings. Alright, we're starting to build the gearbox here. So this 3-module axle here is the kind with the stud on the end, and that stud is going into this 1x1 Technic brick to add friction. So you can see maybe that you can turn it, but it does take a lot to turn, and that when you do, it turns this gear here. So it's almost like it's like the predecessor to the Gen 2 Bionicle gearboxes that had the friction on them, versus the OG ones where the arms would kind of dangle loose after you're done playing with them. So thank you, Lord of the Rings. If I didn't like you before, I'd like you now. Alright, he's got some asymmetric eyes going on there. Now we're using a 2x2 round brick with ridges on it to attach onto that back axle to give a good kind of knob that you can turn that will allow you to really get that arm moving once we build it. So has anyone picked up any of the new 2021 Lego sets yet? Or if not, are there any out there that you're looking to pick up at some point? I know Lego Shop at Home has been pretty decimated lately. If you didn't buy stuff on January 1st, you're gonna have to wait a while, it seems like. Obviously, you can still go to stores or go to other retailers, Amazon, Walmart, Target, whatever, and see what they have. So there are plenty of options out there. It's kind of crazy to me that like almost a year after this, the pandemic started happening, that we're still having all these stock issues on Lego sets. I assume it's related to the pandemic. Either directly because of production issues or indirectly just because of increased demand because everyone's still stuck at home. Somehow, it's the coronavirus's fault. Alright, wouldn't be an Ent without some greenery literally growing out of his head. it's time to connect the body to the legs. And so he's got some waist articulation here, thanks to that Technic axle that was coming up. Full 360 degrees of motion. Coming along, very Ent-like. Okay, now get to work on the arms. So we're starting with the one that's going to be articulated with just the ball joints without the gear function. Lots of gray in this arm here. I mean, trees can definitely take on a grayish look, so it's really not a big deal. We are covering up a good bit of said gray. Hops on there. Time for the Ent hand, which looks like it's going to use some Exo-Force arms as fingers. Fairly common technique. Even gets an opposable thumb. It's a pretty cool build. Definitely gives some nice posability on that hand there. He is almost ready to stomp on some orcs. Huh, that's interesting. We just stacked 3 of these 2x2 round plates on top of each other, when on the other side we have a 2x2 round brick. That's like they're the exact same size. They both have a Technic axle through hole, so I'm not sure why we needed to stack those plates there. Maybe it adds more friction? If it does, it's very minor, I gotta feel like, the amount of friction it adds. Alright, now that goes onto that Technic axle that was sticking out. So now we've got a movable arm, but it will stay pretty much whatever position you put it in, thanks to the friction added in there. Alright, looks like this hand will be the end of bag 2. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and put up our giveaway link. So if you have not yet entered in our giveaway for today, you should go ahead and do that now. So once we finish building this ent, we'll be getting ready to pick our first winner of the day. It's probably going to be the pace we're doing these giveaways at. If I said I wanted to get through about halfway through, so with 15 numbers here, hopefully that means we get through bag 8 today. So every 2 bags we should be doing a giveaway. Oh wow, I don't think that was me who just did that. There is a big rip in the instructions here. I didn't hear any tearing, it's like I got caught on something. Just, oh. See, no, there's like the next few pages are all ripped. No, just 2. 2 pages are ripped. It was very random. Wonder if I can still contact customer service and get a replacement. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't affect anything. Alright, there is our hand. Alright, so in addition to that tear, it does show the orc using his grappling hook there to hook the ent so he can, I guess, pull it down. I think it would have been more effective if he had a torch, but hey, maybe it's, they didn't want to indicate that in the set, like just encourage setting things on fire. Anyway, here is our ent. Definitely like him. I would have loved to have gotten more ents either in this set or in like other sets. In Lord of the Rings, obviously, there's a lot of things in Lord of the Rings that they could have done that they did not do. One thing I did mention, the play feature before, how it's kind of a predecessor maybe to the G2 Bionicle play features, with how the arm goes up and down, but can still stay in any position. Because of how it's designed, that is literally the only degree of freedom that the shoulder has, so the shoulder can't go out like the shoulder on the other side can, which is something that the Bionicle sets can do. So that is definitely a little bit of a detraction to it. Also, if you might notice here, the arm hits the right leg here, so it can only go so far down. And no matter how hard you turn that gear, I guess if you turn hard enough, then it kind of just twists the legs out from under. So if he goes sideways here, then he has full 360-degree motion on that arm. Only if he's turned 90 degrees. But yeah, overall, I definitely like him. don't know if it, I don't think on the box it gave the Ent a name or anything. He's actually not mentioned on the box. He's like pictured, but doesn't have a name like the minifigures do. Definitely doesn't look like how Treebeard was depicted in the film, but there are plenty of other Ents, obviously, during the siege of Isengard. And yeah, I like him. Very cool. All right, let me open up our third bag. Actually, there's 2 bags that are numbered 3. Move some of this around a little bit. We're gonna start needing more space very soon. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open number 3, and then we'll pick our first winner. So this is your last warning. Hey, Voximo. Got a bunch of large plates in bag 3 here, because obviously we're going to be starting the base of the tower, and we want that to be nice and sturdy. Alright, got my parts all out there. Let's turn off the giveaway link. Alright, got a bunch of people entered. Ooh, I see there's definitely some popular figures, more popular than others. Let's see who's going to win. Lord Oblivion, congratulations, you've won a Stormtrooper Commander buildable figure. One of the last few Star Wars buildable figures that was released. Kind of unique in that he had 2 variations that you could build him in. One with the Commander Pauldron and one without, and then he had 2 different blaster builds to go along with it. One was your normal Blast Tech E11. Ooh, and I've talked myself into the corner. I think the other one is a DL44. I think that is the larger blaster that you most frequently see at the beginning of A New Hope on Tatooine. I want to say it's the DL44. If I'm wrong, I'm sure someone can let me know. Where are these minifigs' legs? Oh, sorry, not legs, his body. That was the important part. So our second minifig is the Fighting Oroki. Oh, before I put his armor on, can show off his torso there. Again, been a long time since I built any of the Lord of the Rings sets. I don't remember if this is a unique torso or not. Kinda doubt it. I mean, all orcs were the same, right? Yeah, his arms are very stiff. I don't know if that's just because he's been sitting in a box for almost 8 years now, or what. All right, so he's got his orc sword, his shield with the white hand of Saruman, and he's got a double-sided head. So there's one expression, and there's the other with that face paint. I guess it's like the pre-palm print and the post-palm print. And he gets a helmet. It also has the lovely white hand printed on it, very detailed. There's definitely a cool thing they did with those minifigs. I mean, I miss all of the Lord of the Rings prints. As far as how my Saturday's going, it's going pretty good. Got to sleep in a little this morning. Went for a bit of a walk. Then came back and now I'm building Lego. Can't complain about that. Got like lots of 8x8 plates in this bag, and what are these? 8x12 plates, and some like 4x16s. I mean, people will always find ways and reasons to complain, but there's certainly enough going on in the world these days. Got some nice bright yellow bricks in there, filling in some of the space in the base. Space base, you might want to call it. Definitely an interesting shape we're starting out with here on our tower. Let's see if I can get like a more of a top down view there. It's almost like a giant T, or actually like a mushroom. If you look at it from that side, it looks kind of like a mushroom shape. Curious to see, and I guess that's going to be pretty much the entire base, although what we may be doing is we're building this and we're going to kind of attach things into the corners eventually as we build up. That kind of makes more sense. So we can get some cool different angles in it. That'll be fun to do. Alright, I've got a bunch of 1, 1x4 snot bricks going in. And so obviously, you know, if you've looked at the finished model, there's not really a lot of dark gray that is visible on the outside. So all of these snot bricks are going to be used presumably for attaching like the facade, which will be a lot of black elements. Well, it looks like we've got our first sticker coming up in a couple of steps. Not there yet, but we're getting close. Interesting, we've got some bright green and orange going in here. Especially that the green are Technic bricks with the axle hole in them. Curious to see. Yes, it does look like those are going to be used for like to connect something to, so that'll be kind of interesting to see. And then presumably covered up at some point. Alright, so one of these panels here is getting our first sticker. One thing that I guess they have changed over the years is that the sticker sheet isn't numbered at all, so it's kind of like, hey, you're on your own to figure out which sticker it is. I do like that these stickers are on clear backing. Means you have to worry about less color matching to the bricks that are going on, which can sometimes be a little spotty. Or if you're the person who doesn't like to put stickers on your sets and likes to use them in your mocks, it gives you a lot more options there as far as color choices. And so there is our first sticker. It's like a little dungeon door down in the cellars of Orthanc. I believe this set was released in 2013, if I remember correctly when I was looking it up. So yeah, it's like about 8 years old now at this point. Yeah, I'm not sure what like the requirements are for stickers to be on clear backing. Like if there's something in the set that has to be done in order to justify it. Well, we've got another sticker. Looks like another door on one of these panels. What is Saruman keeping in his basement? So yeah, here we've got a little dungeon door here with some eyes and some minifig hands on the bars. It does seem like something that they could have built. I'm pretty sure that kind of piece exists, that little dungeon door. Obviously the minifig hands and eyes would have been more difficult. It would have taken a few more pieces to accomplish, but could have been a nice detail if they could have managed that. But seeing as like this is the basement, probably not the biggest of deals. Alright, now for a third sticker, and the biggest thus far. I think I pointed it out when we were looking at the box. There's apparently also a bunch of wargs in the basement. And if you're not very familiar with the Lord of the Rings story, the wargs are wolves, but like giant wolves that the orcs can ride on. Kind of like wolf horses. Well, this sticker is kind of giving me some Lion King vibes. The wargs, almost more like hyenas here. I'm just thinking of like the hyenas from Lion King. One of the scenes where they come out of the shadows laughing at Simba. Where's Whoopi Goldberg and Cheech Marin? And whoever the third one was. Sorry, I can't remember your name. And that also is hiding our multicolored Technic assembly from before. So I think, if I had to guess, that Technic thing is going to be where the stairs attach. So I remember seeing in the pictures on the box, there's like some stairs that go up at an angle to the tower. Alright, since we're in the dungeon, can't have a dungeon without some skeletons. We're so untold. And some bones. Usually they're on dark red clips and not like dark gray to match the floor. Dark red kind of stands out a bit. Yeah, definitely kind of like a dire wolf sort of thing. Of course, you also can't have a dungeon without a rat. Definitely still a little flimsy as we are building up the walls. See, once we get like another layer of bricks on, it'll probably solid it up. Ooh, we got some Technic going in. This looks like it's probably gonna be a trapdoor mechanism of some sort. And yeah, looks like we're just about done. What are we on bag 3? Bag 3 here. Got 2 more steps or so. This is going to be our trapdoor mechanism. That goes there. Covered up. Some birch bricks. Ooh, and a CCBS ball joint, which is apparently going to be used as a prop here, not actually connected to anything. I guess you missed whatever the first stream we played this this track on was, Oroki. I got some new music here. I think we mentioned this on the front page. Someone posted the topic on BZPower with this remix they did of several of the Bionicle tunes. And we reached out to them and we're like, hey, can we use this on our streams? And they're like, heck yeah. And now, of course, his name is escaping me, but there will be a link to his site once we put this up on YouTube. Alright, so we've got another sticker here on this 2x4 dark blue tile. I think it's supposed to be like a carpet or something. It's on the trapdoor. And we get an extra chain. Let's see. The member who came up with the remix is named Namata, N-A-M-A-T-A. So if you search that on the front page, should come up with their topic there that we featured. All right, so we're doing bag 3. More of a dungeon right now than a tower, but we're getting there. Let me take off our picture-in-picture for a sec there so I can see better. So you can see we do have some stickers in the back there. If you're the kind of person who doesn't like stickers, these are very unobtrusive. Although the wolves, the wargs are kind of nice to see there. On this side, this is going to be the front of the tower. It is looking very bland, but you can see there's a lot of snot bricks on all of the surfaces there that we're going to be attaching stuff to. Like I said, I believe these Technic connectors popping out are going to be for the stairs eventually. And the one plate feature we have is this little 2x2 round brick here. When we turn that, you can see the trapdoor comes down. And there's some friction in that, thanks to a Technic friction pin, so that it will stay up. You could probably sit a minifig on there and it'll be fine, but if you wanted to push it down, you could. But it's definitely more sudden when you turn the knob. All right. Bag 4. Let's open her up. Looks like I got rid of one of my little parts trays a little too soon there. Yeah, I saw them post the topic for that remix on the forums. I'm like, wow, it's been a while since I've seen any fan music things. So definitely have to make sure we called that out, and enjoyed it so much that you get to hear it on our streams now. It's nice to have an addition to, like the same 10 or 12 tracks that we normally play. If anyone else ever wants to do some cool remixes or original music that they want us to feature, just let me know. We'll definitely be interested in doing that. Namata, N-A-M-A-T-A. Let me type it into the chat. We'll see how much of a delay there is. There we go. It does seem like there's a bit of a delay today. Even though it says the stream quality is excellent, we do seem to be lagging behind a bit. Interesting. We've got some 2 by 2 by 2 cones. Curious to see if those like become torches or some sort of other like sculpture element in here. So it looks like this is where the stairs are going to be leading up to. We're leaving this opening here. So you come in the main door and you're right on the trap door. You gotta watch out for that. So has anyone found anything good to watch on TV recently? I know some shows have been coming back. Some are wrapping up. We haven't really talked too much about the latest season of The Mandalorian here. Obviously, wanted to avoid spoilers while it was in the middle of airing. Not sure if it's okay to talk about some of the big reveals from this past season yet or not. I'll err on the side of caution for sure. But the latest season of Star Trek Discovery just wrapped up for the people who like the other Star things, which is me as well. I'm allowed to like both. I'm allowed to have a freaky microphone too, apparently. Well, thankfully these days so much is on streaming on demand that you can watch it fairly quickly afterwards. I don't have cable anymore. Pretty much just watch everything on like streaming services and such. Actually, I don't think technically I've never had cable ever since I moved out of my parents' house. So that's it's been quite a while. And since there hasn't been a whole lot of new stuff, like only 1 or 2 episodes a week, I've also been watching old things. Lately, I finished up finally watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, so now I'm working my way through The Legend of Korra. Pretty good shows. Definitely have been missing out for the past, I don't know, decade or so. Not sure what I was doing back when those shows were first coming out, but I was apparently just ignoring them. Definitely heard a lot of talk about them, but I don't know, I guess I had other things I was watching at the time, and thanks to the pandemic, I guess, I've gotten a chance to go back and watch them, and they're really good. Definitely recommend if you too skipped out on them the first time around. They are worth it. Alright, so we've got a little decoration going in. Guys, remember the Lego games? This is like one of the player pieces that we had there. Here in light bluish gray, there's a little statue. looks like our next step here is to build the door that's going in there, so that should be interesting. Yeah, remember when people used to own things on DVD and on Blu-ray? I still have a fairly large physical media collection, but I'm definitely more conservative as far as what I add to it these days. It's like, do I really need to buy this on DVD? Because there's so many things that like think you want to watch it on DVD, so you bought it and then you just never watched it. At least that's how it kind of was for me. And then there's some things where it's like, okay, you know, I wanted this, so I bought it on DVD, and then I go to watch it, and like I've watched it before, but then like the DVD no longer works. Like last November, I had like nothing to do on November 5th. I'm like, oh, I want to watch a movie. Oh, it's the 5th of November. I should watch V for Vendetta. And lo and behold, my DVD copy of V for Vendetta no longer worked. Well, like, you could watch like the first half of it, and then it just kind of froze partway through. It was very unfortunate. If you have not ever seen V for Vendetta, it's a very violent movie. It is rated R, so you know, if you're not of the appropriate age or do not have parental supervision, you know, maybe pass on it. But it is a very good film. At least we're gonna have 2 doors here. Hey there, Ballum. The entire Jurassic Park series as a 4-pack, but aren't there technically 5 Jurassic Park movies? I know I have a box set of the 3 actual Jurassic Park films, since I am an elitist and don't consider Jurassic World to be part of the franchise. Not part of the franchise I enjoy. I still never saw the second Jurassic World movie. I just really did not enjoy the first one that much. I'm like, I can skip on this one. I mean, not that like the second and third Jurassic Park movies were all that great. Albeit, you know, gotta be honest there. But I like them more than I enjoyed Jurassic World, that's for sure. Yeah, I'd say the best thing I can say about Jurassic World is it made the franchise active again, so that we got Jurassic Park Lego sets. Because both of those Jurassic Park Lego sets are great. Alright, we've got some doors. I'm gonna wait to really show them off until we lock them in with some plates here, which should be the next step. I don't want to try to swing them open and close and just have them fall off. Camera up a little bit there. It's like this is going to be a tall set or something. think one of the interesting things about the third Jurassic Park film is they actually went back to the original Jurassic Park book and took elements from that and incorporated it into the third film, which is kind of cool. Because like the whole Pteranodon enclosure part was in the original book, but that didn't make it into the first film. But then, lo and behold, there it is in Jurassic Park 3. And there's a couple other parts that happened too as well. All right, let's show off these doors before they get too buried in there. So yeah, they're at like a perpendicular angle to each other, and they open inwards. This one does not open that far. Actually, there is. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. There's a brick down here that acts as a doorstop to keep it from opening too far. I guess they were worried if you open it too far and get it jammed in the corner, it'd be hard to get your finger in to close it again, would be my guess. But the other one opens quite far. They open enough that you can have some ready access in there. Yeah, I mean, Jurassic Park, I think, is one of those things where both the book and the film are great, but in very different ways. If you read that Jurassic Park book, there's a lot that it does not have in common with the film. But the film was just done so masterfully. Like Spielberg just did such a great job on that it really didn't matter. And man, those effects in the first film, they just hold up so well. It's been a long time since I've seen the second and third films, so I can't speak to how well those hold up, but every time I watch that original movie, it's like, man, these dinosaurs just look so good. Like, even if, yeah, okay, maybe they're not scientifically accurate anymore, that's fine. I'll give you that for sure. But like, they just look so good. Even the digital effects, like, these are 1990s digital effects, and they still look so great. There's so many movies from like the 2000s and stuff that like the effects just don't hold up at all. All right, we're getting close to being done with bag 4 here, which means we'll be doing our second giveaway in a little bit. I think after we finish this step here, we'll put up the link so you guys can go ahead and enter. Love how we somehow ended up talking about Jurassic Park when here we are building a Lord of the Rings set. I do need to rewatch this film series as well. I started last year, I think. 2020 was so long in so many ways. I forget if it was 2020 or 2019 now. I started rereading the books, and after I finished the Fellowship of the Ring, I'm like, oh, after I finish each book, I'm gonna watch the film. I did that for the first one, and then I read the other two books and never rewatched the other two movies. Which is funny because you'd think that would be the easier part of it, since those are shorter, but shorter yet longer, right? Like a book you can kind of read in stages, but if you want to sit down and watch a movie, man, those movies are long. Great but long. Alright, I've got a couple more stickers to put on these dark blue, earth blue, metro blue flag pieces. Alright, the White Hand of Saruman. Kind of interesting that the stickers are black, yet they put them on these blue banner pieces. You know, not going to complain about getting the nice dark blue banner piece, but it does seem kind of odd. Completing this entryway here. These flags, a couple of axes, and we'll show all this off in a second. Alright. Let's go ahead, turn off our picture-in-picture for a minute or two, and take a look at where we're at the end of bag 4. So bag 3, right, we built the first level here with the dungeon, so now bag 4 we've got kind of the entryway. There's lovely carpet, that is of course the trapdoor. We've got these flags in the corners and the axe, nice little statue. It is a very narrow passage here, not very useful as far as like display, or there's no kind of details or anything in there. That's mainly so the door can open if that hallway wasn't there. So yeah, we've got those nice doors that open up. And from the outside, still looks kind of ugly. We got that orange brick sticking out there, but you can see we've got lots of these snot bricks. There's some 1x4 and some 1x2 snot bricks. So eventually, I don't know if you go over to the next instruction manual, we're gonna build a whole bunch of facade pieces that snap onto those and cover it up. We do have the doors that look nice with their little handles on there. Little arch pieces give it some nice shaping. So looking pretty cool there. Oh, do not hold it like that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up bag 5, and then we're gonna pick our next winner. Lots of large plates here, which tells me that we are going to be starting to do some of those facade elements. That's kind of one of the last things we did on bag 4, when we put these last layer of bricks on, you can see that they all kind of have this overhang that they go over the front. So when we put the facade on, it will kind of go right into that overhang and kind of blend it all together. Looks like we may be doing the steps as well, because I see some Technic axles that will connect to those red Technic connectors that are sticking out. Alright, let's go ahead, turn off that giveaway link for now. Alright, let's pick ourselves our second winner for today. Dollar, congratulations. You've won an Elite TIE Fighter Pilot buildable figure. You know the drill. We send you an email, send us your address, and we send you a set. Easy peasy. Alright, yeah, so for bag 5 here, you can see we've got, well, a floor that we're going to add on top, and then these 3 facade pieces as well as the stairs will be added there. And we've got a lot of these 1x1 bricks with bars. The first step uses 8, and the second step uses 32 of them. Alright, let's get our picture-in-picture going again. Get ready here. Pull back a little bit. There we go. Some of these large plates out of the way, so we find the smaller pieces I need. Is this brick not attaching properly? There we go. Alright, lots of bricks with bars as little architectural detail of the day. If I don't keep dropping them. attached, somewhat lined up. Magnifico. Certainly start to add a little bit of a imposing vibe to it. I think we're going to build like a next level of the tower here. Kind of curious as to what this opening is going to be for. By putting that 1x2 plate with the track piece, they're definitely sizing it specifically as if something is going to attach there. Oh, that might be where the chandelier goes. That's going to have the light brick in it for the Palantir. Into here, if I can get everything lined up. There we go. That also is going to add a lot of structural stability to it. And I gotta find the dark gray plates here. Interesting that we have 2x4 tiles here. We're just putting plates on top of it. You could have used 2x4 plates in those situations. And there are 2x4 plates in the set. So I'm kind of curious as to why they chose to use tiles there. Maybe just they had enough studs otherwise to make it solid. And just opted to have a fewer studs there just because that will make it easier to attach these plates, because sometimes it does get to be a bit tricky lining everything up and making sure it is attached fully here. All right, now we're starting our facade pieces to make the outside of the tower start looking nice. And by nice, I mean evil and imposing. So we're going to be using a lot of these, where they're like 1x10 curved slope pieces. This is definitely an interesting take in the films there. Like from reading the Lord of the Rings books, I'd always kind of imagined Orthanc as being like the Washington Monument in DC, just like, you know, obviously not perfectly smooth, but like a very smooth tower the whole way up. But clearly they went with some more texture, which I think was probably better for the film for sure. Alright, and there is our first piece of facade. The fact that it's all like black glossy Lego is also certainly helping that kind of imposing look they're going for. Right, facade piece number 2. So our door here is starting to look very imposing. Also very cramped. And now we get to build the stairs. Look like they are a lot of basic bricks and some tiles. Obviously there's going to be some Technic along the way to attach it to the main structure. Certainly very simple. Yeah, I think they're getting the job done there. Of course, it does make it hard, or will make it hard to kind of display anyone on the stairs because they're all tiled, which makes them very smooth, but you know, it's kind of a minor thing. Alright, so there's our stairs, and then they attach these red Technic connectors way back from several bags ago. Can kind to see that connection down there. Make sure they're in all the way. And yeah, I got a narrow set of stairs going up into the tower. It works pretty well. Alright, I'm gonna peek ahead in the instructions a little here. Are they not identical? So no, the two, so I was looking at the little sub-assembly images here on the top of the instructions. Maybe it's a little hard to see, but on page 17 here, you got this sub-assembly picture. And on page 21, they used the exact same sub-assembly picture, even though the two elements are going to be mirrored. If you actually look at the first step, it immediately veers away from the picture in there. So I'm like, wait, we're just building two of the same thing? No, we are building two different things, but it does, but I'm not sure if I can trust them to be actually mirrored or not. Yeah, they are going to be different. They just used the same picture, so two slightly different builds, just instruction error. Oh, here you guys go. Here's your new track again. Thank you again, Namada. This one is going over here. Just attaching on to all those snot bricks. And now I can do it again. close to being done here with bag 5. We are breezing through this at a pretty good pace. Not quite enough that we're gonna finish the entire set today for sure, but we'll definitely get through bag 8, I think. Alright, so this piece we just built is slightly narrower, one stud narrower, so that it can fit in the corner with this other one. If I can line everything up properly. Alright, so yeah, there's the one side of the stairs, and there is the other corner. You can kind of see how that all lines up on the bottom there in that corner, where this one is slightly wider by one stud, and so it has the tiles in there so that this piece can kind of bump into it. And it's already getting imposing. It's almost as tall as our ent. And so bag 6, which we're going to open now. Looks like it's going to be the rest of the facade pieces. At least for this level. So it's going to be the front, and then the right and left sides. Some of these larger plates out of here, so I can find the smaller ones when I need them. Lots of 4x10 and 6x8 plates, and obviously lots of these 1x10 curve slopes as well. Oh, and it looks like all 3 of these are going to be identical. So I'm actually gonna put our tower out of the way here. And we're gonna move our camera back down a little bit so we can watch these get assembled. And so it looks like we're going to be using a bunch of jumper plates in these to kind of offset those curve slopes. They're going to be going down the middles of these plates. So one curve slope for every 2 studs. That's kind of interesting. In one set, so here's 2 of the jumper plates. They're black and kind of hard to see, but if you look on the back, we have some that have the solid peg and some that have the hollow one within the same set. I guess, it doesn't really matter from the build perspective. I don't know that LEGO has ever made use of the hollow aspect of that peg in there. are going to be our 3 facade panels here. I'm going to need a lot more of these jumpers. 27 in this step. So I'm really just going to try to pull out as many of them as I can, because there are some normal 1x2 plates in here too. Alright, I think that is all of them. That was not a jumper, that was a normal plate. That's what I was trying to avoid. Alright, so it looks like that is all the jumpers in this section at least. Slopes on the side here, so you can see we're going to kind of gradually taper these so they don't look quite as blocky, I guess. Alright, now I'm gonna make 9 spike assemblies to attach onto these. We're gonna push these off to the side for a sec. And I guess that's gonna be pretty much it for this bag. Alright. Just gonna kind of dump all these out so I can sort, like, there's like 3 different parts in here of varying quantities. I've got some little parts left. Why do I have extra jumper plates, or not jumper plates, headlight bricks? What did I skip somewhere? Certainly feels like I skipped something, but I'm not seeing anything in the instructions that I skipped. Alright, well I guess we'll see what happens as we keep assembling. But since this will be the end of bag 6, I'm gonna go ahead, put our giveaway link back up. Desperately looking at the images of the set and the instructions as I assemble this, like, what did I miss? Because I see I have at least 2 headlight bricks that are extra. Just does not seem right at all. It's not like there was a point where I used a non-headlight brick instead of a headlight brick, so there's only 6 headlights I was supposed to have. It'd be odd to have 1 extra headlight brick in a Lego set. That's not usually a piece you get extra of, but I have 2, and that just was like, I did something wrong. It'd be one thing if there was 3 headlight bricks, because then that would imply, you know, like 1 for each of these 3 assemblies. So that just makes it even odder. Because every part in this set of bags should be a multiple of 3. But instead, yeah, I have 2 headlight bricks and 2 1x1 bricks. You have to like go back through the instructions real quick and be like, alright, before I started building these panels, was there something else I was supposed to have attached to the base? Alright, so just built 9 of these spikes, which go on our panels. composing there. I feel like they capture the look from the film pretty well. Alright. Now bag 6 starts. No attachment to anything. Should be 2 headlight bricks and 2 1x1 bricks per assembly, and I did that. Somehow got extra. Okay. Alright, let's attach these now. So those just pop on to our snap brackets. Actually nicely line up with these cheese slopes on the sides from earlier. Actually, they're firmly connected to everything. And like all the little ugly stuff, like these brown plates and everything, the orange that was on the front all get covered up here. Alright, now it is looking like something. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open up bag number 7. Also, I'm gonna spread out these bags a little bit. So they're not all bunched up to my right here. And then we're gonna pick our next winner. Ooh, look at that, a Zamor sphere. Hey, hey. You stand there for a sec. 8. 9. All right, there we go. All right, I think we're all ready, so go ahead and turn off that giveaway. And we'll pick our next winner. Hey, Balam Nom Nom, you have won the Darth Maul buildable figure. Congratulations. Know the drill, send you the email, and you'll get yourself a prize. Okay, so we're starting out bag 7 here, probably the penultimate bag of the day with Saruman, his little rubbery hairpiece. When he is special, he gets a dress and legs. Oh, there's actually 3 capes in our little cardboard box here. I guess they didn't feel like packaging them individually, so I assume got gray for Gandalf, black for Green Wormtongue, and white for Saruman. And yeah, Darth Maul really was a fantastic figure. Some really cool play features in there. And he was like the only figure that ever had that like one armor part. Before I put the cape on, let's look at his Saruman's body here. So he's got nicely printed slope. Also on the chest there, very intricate pattern with some silver and some tan. A little bit of printing on the back, even though it's about to be covered up by the cape. So I put the cape on here, maybe. Alright, so we've got our Christopher Lee head. There is one expression. And there is the other. And he's got his hairpiece here is rubbery. And it's kind of tricky to get. Probably needed to be rubbery so it could fit over this cape here. Because it's a bit of a pain. Alright, and there is the finished Saruman the White. I know he appeared in at least that one other set, like the Wizard Duel, which is basically just a portion of Orthanc with him and Gandalf. But I forget, it's been a while since I had that set out, so I don't know if he is the same or not. And he does come with a pair of plain white legs that you can swap out for the robe if you prefer. I guess if you want to have him in some more dynamic poses or something like that. Alright, now we're building on top of our tower. some little internal details here as we build up. Looks like these sections on the side are gonna be like shelves or something. Got like a mysterious little container here. It's interesting, we're adding these little 1x1 bricks with bars behind these bookcases, so I'm wondering if we're going to be doing any sort of interesting snot techniques by attaching something with a clip there. Oh, and it looks like I called it. Yes, indeed we are. Whole bunch more 1x2 jumpers. Maybe almost as many as bricks with bars. assembling some books for the bookcases using some snot techniques here. So we're stacking up some plates with a 1x2 plate with a clip here, and that can then attach to that brick. And then so from the side, once you cover it up, it'll look like a whole bunch of books on a shelf. Like a bookshelf, if you will. Alright, and now all these snot bricks along the sides are going to get covered with cheese slopes. 18 1x2 cheese slopes. And 2 1x1 cheese slopes. Alright, let's adjust our camera angle there so you can see all of these lovely slopes. Adding a nice little relief to the edge here. Oh, that was not firmly attached. Probably the most tedious part we've done so far. Did I mess something up? Yes, there's supposed to be another 1x1 in the corner here. Lovely. Now, back up top. We're looking forward to how this light brick is going to be going in here, which is actually the next step. We'll see if the battery on this light brick still works. Obviously, the pull tab has not been removed yet, so we're going to pop that out. And hey, still works. And yeah, that just kind of gets slid in there. And because of that 1x2 plate with the little rail on it that we put earlier, it just kind of floats in here. And so now we get to build up on top of it, so eventually I think we're going to have the Zamor sphere here, and it's going to make that glow. So it's going to be kind of cool. First we get to add some more little details here. Oh, interesting with this 4x4 round plate. I think the battery is definitely dying. I feel like it should be brighter there. Thankfully, you can replace the batteries in these fairly easily, unlike, you know, some of the Bionicle sets. So I may have to replace that between now and when we finish this set. Alright, we've got another sticker going in. Looks like some sort of spell or something. There's that. Looks like a cauldron and some writing on there. That goes and slides in the bookcase. Now we make the chandelier, which is going to go underneath the light brick. And when we push up on the chandelier, let's see if I can. When we push up on the chandelier, that's going to make the light brick turn on. It looks like I also have an extra 1x1 round trans red brick in this set. So that's definitely another odd piece to get an extra of. I feel like this is one thing, like one situation where, you know, parts changing over time. This could have been done differently. These are like supposed to be candles, it looks like. They could have used some different, you know, obviously we now have an actual candle piece. Would have had to change the build a little, but I'm imagining like the clips with the bar holder. And you could have put the new candle piece, the white candle piece in that with the flame on top. It would have made these a lot taller, but then you could just probably gotta tweak the design a bit to make that work. All right, and as I was shown before, this literally connects to the light brick, and then we put this round plate on top, and the Zamor sphere just kind of floats on there. Doesn't attach, obviously. And yeah, so you can kind of see that glow a little bit. Let's see if we can zoom in so you can really give you the best effect. I might need to see what kind of batteries those use, and if I don't have any, order some for next time. Because I'm sure I have other light bricks from sets too that will eventually need batteries to be replaced. Alright, bag number 8. Not quite at 3 hours yet. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll, after bag 8 we'll do a giveaway, and I think we might do bag 9 as well. And then next time we'll have a slightly shorter stream. Alright, looks like we're starting out with some nice repetition, adding some details around here with 18 headlight bricks and 22 1x1 bricks. It'd be funny if I was like 2 headlight bricks short from the other bag, but I am not. Need a whole bunch of 1x1 tiles. All right, let's get repeating. Alright, so now I made all these 18 little assemblies here. And now I get to put them all around the edges here and make sure they line up somewhat nicely. And they're just kind of floating on these jumper plates, you know, makes it kind of hard because it could be twisted a bit. I want to try to make it look nice. Doing that microphone. Interesting that we're adding some Technic bricks to the sides here. Curious as to what we're going to end up attaching there. Hey there, Dylan. Good to see you. Alright, so it looks like Technic bricks are going to be used for some snot. Putting some Technic pins with studs on them. And we're actually making use of the hollow studs on the top of the Technic bricks to put the little bars that come down from the plate on here. So even though we have 1x7 here, we're putting a 1x8 plate on top of it. So it's a nice little kind of jumper offset technique. And we're making a little balcony here for Saruman to go yell at his orcs or intruders such as Gandalf and Pippin. Before Grima Wormtongue throws the Palantir down at them and starts off a whole chain of events. There we go, covering up those Technic bricks now with some tiles. Yeah, certainly an oldie but a goodie. I only hope that with the someday with us getting an Amazon Lord of the Rings series that maybe we'll see more Lego Lord of the Rings again. Getting low on parts here for bag number 8. Which means we'll be wrapping that up and doing our next giveaway in a little bit. I think after we finish this step here, I'll go put that link back up so you guys can go enter if you have not already. Yeah, that's certainly that would be the concern, because like that announcement of the Amazon Lord of the Rings series kind of came when, you know, Game of Thrones was the big thing. So you kind of assumed that this was going to be Amazon's take on trying to do a Game of Thrones series. But I mean, that was so long ago at this point. It's like, and I don't know, I haven't like been searching over it daily, but I haven't seen anything about like it going into production or anything like that yet. And it's like, are people even gonna like remember Game of Thrones by the time that series comes out? Like, obviously people will remember it, but it's not gonna be, you know, in the forefront of culture and like pop culture and everything. People aren't going to be thinking about and like comparing it to this Lord of the Rings show necessarily, unless they try to make it that by making it TVMA. All right. And that is it for bag 8. So we just hit the 3-hour mark. So we're gonna go ahead and do bag 9, because I'm excited to see what comes next. So I'm gonna open up bag 9 right now. Gonna kind of show off our build so far, because I don't think we've really done a big overview of all the progress we've been making lately. And then we'll pick our next to last winner for the day. Alright. Let's get rid of that picture-in-picture for a second. Alright, it is pretty heavy and solid for sure. Definitely looking very imposing. Nice and sleek. Primarily black with a little bit of dark gray, Lego Batman would approve. So yeah, it's kind of hard to show on camera, I feel like, because of all that. The inside's got a little more going on, at least, where you can see we've got our dungeon, our entryway with a trap door to the dungeon. We've got, I guess, like the throne room. This is like Saruman's throne here. We've got the Palantir. That lights up a little bit. Got some nice bookshelves and stuff. So yeah, pretty awesome so far. All right. So we're going to be adding some more details here, starting with bag 9. Go ahead, turn off the giveaway link. Happy New Year's to you, Dylan. I do not have Vader's Castle. That's definitely the one I've considered looking at getting from time to time, but have never bit the bullet on. Just, you know, not quite as iconic as Orthanc, especially since it only really appeared in one film and then in some of the comics. Max Howell, congratulations! You've won a First Order Stormtrooper buildable figure. We'll be getting in touch with you to get you that prize. Alright. I mean, like, it certainly seems like a cool set, the Vader's Castle, but it's like not as iconic, you know, so it's like a bit less of a desire. It's one of those things where, you know, we were fortunate that LEGO sends BZPower sets to build from time to time. This one was for my own personal collection that I bought once upon a time and has sat in my LEGO closet for a while. Ooh, these little kind of rocket fin pieces do not want to go on these bars. And so like that one's kind of like on the backup list, Vader's Castle. Like, well, if there's no other sets to get, maybe we'll get Vader's Castle. But LEGO keeps putting out all these fantastic sets. And so it's like, well, there's always something to get. Although not right now with everything being out of stock, but that's a whole other story. Things just do not want to slide down. No, it's someone did not design that well. I mean, for the hardcore Star Wars nerds, there's actually been a whole comic series, or a few kind of limited comic series. It was like Tales from Vader's Castle and Return to Vader's Castle and like Ghosts of Vader's Castle, I think was the third one. Kind of younger audience targeted, but they're like Halloween kind of horror stories set in the Star Wars universe with like an overarching narrative that takes place in Vader's Castle. It's pretty fun, and you know, it's cute in its like horror-y kind of way. It's like kids Halloween ghost stories kind of things. I enjoyed it, but I enjoy all Star Wars. It's usually, oh, there we go. All right, got that one on. But you do see some more of the inside of Vader's Castle there. All right, so you just made these kind of weird pillar things. I vaguely remember these being in the set the smaller set that came out that was based on Orthanc. Now if I can just get this other rocket fin piece on here. Yeah, obviously the comics and books are not for everyone. Yeah, this thing just does not want to pop down on there. And it's like such an awkward like piece. It's hard to kind of get a good grip on it without bending this bar in half. You just have to kind of put this off to the side and hope for the best later. Oh, there we go. That was a pain in the butt, Lego. Could you hear that? That was the sound of the piece sliding down on that bar. Alright, next layer of repetition going in. All these little 1x2 grill bricks. Lego ASMR. I don't know, is there really an audience for that? There's the sound of like bricks being like sorted. Like, where's that piece? And I have to do that all over again with another layer. Yes, maybe it's an untapped audience there that can find some way to cash in on. Could be my true calling that I've been missing my whole life. onto the inside. So we need to go up a little more. So the nice thing about having this picture-in-picture webcam now is that it's more easily adjustable than the main camera. So you guys can see what I'm building a little better as it's going up. Interesting, we've got another dark blue banner going in here, but there's no sticker on this one, unlike on the lower level where it has Saruman's hand. And it's kind of interesting that that one doesn't have anything, although it is kind of difficult to see behind the throne there. Alright, see you later, Dylan. Yeah, we should be finishing this up next weekend, so hopefully you can come back then. Really hope we put some plates on these because some of these sections are very wobbly. We've stacked up a lot of bricks without doing much overlapping here. Alright, looks like I'm getting my wish to lock some of these in place. Some big 2x8 slopes. Have to spin that around to get that lined up well. Go. Alright, that should make this all much sturdier now. Alright, so now it seems like we're preparing this for the final layer. You can see we're putting some of these 1x4 plates that only have 2 studs. Actually putting quite a few of those on. Which sometimes indicates that like whatever you put on top of that is going to be removable. I'm not sure that that is going to be the case here, just because of how many of them we're putting on. Alright, looks like we're just about done with bag 9. I have all these headlight bricks around the front edge here. They're all going to get very spiky in a couple minutes. And then we'll be wrapping things up for today. So I'm going to put up that giveaway link one last time. And we're going to add, I always think of these as like Hero Factory claws. I'm not sure if they first appeared in Hero Factory, I don't remember, but it was definitely around that time for sure. And so yeah, I got 12 of these going into all these little headlight bricks. Alright, that is going to be it for today. Oh, and that was a perfect spot to leave because we finished up instruction book 2. So we get to start next week on the 3rd and final instruction book. And we're going to go ahead, get rid of our picture-in-picture. Get this camera out of the way for now. And we're gonna take a look at what we have built today, and then pick our last winner. So yeah, it looks like a big black monolith. I'm not really sure how well a lot of the details show up on stream, but there is a lot of them. There is a Zamor sphere that fell out there. I'm really liking how it is coming together. Like I said, it's probably not very apparent on the stream, but there's definitely a lot of details. All these 1x10 curved slopes on the bottom that go into these 1x1 bricks with the bars, the cheese slopes here, little arches, the tiles snotted on there, and then all the little grill bricks up top. Add some nice texture, and finally the spikes are the nice final touch. If I had to like pick out anything that I'm not a fan of, it's that these tiles here are kind of offset and they leave this little gap where you can see the dark gray brick underneath. Not really sure how they could have fixed that. And I think for the most part you won't really be able to see it easily. And it's not a problem with the gray being exposed, it's just kind of like the angle doesn't look as nice. Because like there is some dark gray like down here. It does like kind of add some nice contrast and some shadow lines to it. Obviously from this angle there is actually some interesting stuff going on. We have the stairs down here, we have the balcony, and of course the doors that do open. You can kind of see inside. And so yeah, spinning around inside. We've built 3 levels so far. And if we look at our instruction book here, we've built up to about there. So you still have the whole top part to build. And obviously it's getting narrower, so there's gonna be fewer pieces as we climb up and finish it off. But there is still quite a bit more to go. So we'll take a look at what we've built so far. We've got on the lower level down here, we've got the dungeon. You can see we've got some bones and some skulls and a rat. If you look, there are some wargs hiding there on a sticker. There's a couple other stickers in the back. For the most part, the stickers have not been too crucial. I would say these banners here with Saruman's white hand are probably the biggest ones that if you're not a big fan of stickers, I would definitely recommend putting those on there because they're kind of key to the aesthetic. Then we have, I guess, like kind of the entry hallway here. So you can see inside of those doors that we saw on the outside, those open up. We do kind of have this hallway to nowhere here. Got a little statue, some axes, and you might notice this round brick we have here that activates the trap door. So if Saruman has any unwelcome visitors, he can send them right down to the dungeon. The next level appears to be Saruman's kind of throne room, and has a Zamor sphere, which is kind of a nice touch, but it's just kind of sitting here in this 4x4 round plate with a hole in it. So you have the chandelier down here. When we push on that chandelier, it activates a light brick, which I think the batteries are dying on. That kind of lights up the Palantir, which is kind of cool. Got some nice bookshelves on the sides with some nice snot techniques. We've got Saruman's throne in the back, very ornate, and these fancy pillars with the trans yellow crystal balls on them. So some very nice details there. Yeah, so that is Orthanc so far. That's not all we built today. Also have an eagle. So that's the same eagle that we saw in some of the other Lord of the Rings sets. Nothing too fancy about him there. Had a few minifigs that we've built. We've got Saruman the Wise, Saruman of many colors, who has an extra set of legs if you prefer those to the robe. I think he needs the legs if you want to have him sit on his throne. And then we've got like the Orc Pitmaster, I think he's called. He's got like a grappling hook for taking down Ents. And then we have got one of Saruman's Oroki that has a lovely printed shield and printed helmet. Some great pieces there. And then finally, the first thing we built today was this Ent, which was a really cool build. Some nice asymmetry, especially on the body and the arms. It's got some okay posability here. You know, kind of fits the canon, right? Ents aren't very flexible necessarily. The waist does spin. The left arm has a couple ball joints on it, so it's got some nice flexibility. I do like the hands that use these Exoforce arms. Give some good posability. Can probably pop him off his base plate here. See if he can grab on. So yeah, he can grab onto an orc. But actually, it would probably be better if he grabbed onto the orc with his other hand. Because there's this knob on the back. And so he can, there we go, throw the orc down. And there's enough friction in the mechanism that you can kind of pose the arm wherever you want. So as I said earlier in the stream, if you missed it, it's kind of like a predecessor to the Bionicle G2 mechanisms there, adding the friction in. So you have the play feature, but you still have the posability. Now the disadvantage that this has compared to G2 monocle is that it can only go up and down. The shoulder cannot go in and out. So you do lose, you know, that kind of range of motion, that degree of freedom there. So it's not perfect, but it's definitely cool. The only Ent we ever got in any of the Lego Lord of the Rings sets. So definitely nice there. I'm definitely glad to have him added to my collection. So yeah, that is what we've done today. Got through 9 numbers, but actually 11 bags. So we've got 10 through 15 to do hopefully next weekend. We should be back to finish this set up. So let's get rid of that giveaway link. And then we will close the giveaway to entries and pick our final winner. Congratulations to Woomy World, who has won a Jin Urso buildable figure. So congrats again to Dollar, Woomy World, Lord Oblivion, Balam, and Max, our 5 winners today. You should all have an email from me asking for your address so we can get you your prize. Like I said, hope to be back next weekend to finish this set off. Should be a slightly shorter build, probably around, what, 2.5 hours or so to finish things, and then show off the final model. Looking forward to that. Thank you all for watching. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everyone's having a happy 2021 so far, as best as they can manage. And we'll check back in with you next time. Until then, everyone have fun, stay safe, wear a mask, and get vaccinated if you can. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend.